Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for The Way It's Told. This is a podcast about people and their passions and the way they live that in their life. We have a special series this week for The Way It's Told called Meet the Candidates here at EKU. And we have Jayna and Holly here today. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourselves. I'm going to start with you. Tell us where you're from, what's your major, why are you here?
All right, yeah. So like you said, I'm Jayna Singleton. I'm a criminal justice major. I'm a junior from Rockcastle County. So after I graduated with my criminal justice, I also have a Homeland Security certificate in psychology minor. I'm hoping to go into federal law enforcement, so kind of maybe get a master's or get a job, go that way. I'm in student government. I'm currently the RSO chair and a senator at large. Love student government and kind of talked to Holly and we decided to run, and so we're super excited to be here and being on your podcast and running. So
I'm glad you're here. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Holly.
My name is Holly Miller. I'm also from Rockcastle County. It's kind of crazy because me and Jayna didn't really know each other before coming to college, even though we were from the same small hometown. But it's been great getting to know Jayna here at college. I'm a junior, psychology major. After I graduate next spring, I plan on continuing my degree here to get a master's in psychology. And then the long-term goal is to one day have my own psychology clinic in Eastern Kentucky.
I think that's great, especially you guys are from Kentucky, and you guys you're going to be doing what you want to do and love here in Kentucky. Are you going to stay in Kentucky? What about you?
I mean, I would love to stay in Kentucky and help out with crime or any law enforcement here, but if I have to move too, that's totally okay. I'm totally adventurous, so I'd love to go anywhere.
I completely understand. So you guys are from Rockcastle County, both of you. How do you think, are you pulling experiences from that area into your campaign and for the university, since this is Kentucky, like Eastern Kentucky? It's not very far away, is it?
No, not at all. For me, I definitely want to keep like those hometown values. Like that's always been a big part of my life, and I always want that to be a big part of my life. So that it is something that we're wanting to pull into our campaign and use some of the values that we've learned there to stay rooted in our campaign and, kind of stay true to who we are as individuals.
I definitely agree. Yeah.
And you say who you are as individuals. What's some interests that you guys have outside of this university? You said you like to get involved with politics, and so what kind of inspired that?
Well, getting involved with student government, I saw that I didn't realize how much change they could actually have on campus. And so my freshman year, I kind of looked into it a little bit. Then I think I joined the beginning or mid of my sophomore year, and really just kind of realized that, like every student has a voice on campus, whether they're in student government or not, and kind of saw some of these changes that were being done. And my brother was in it when he was here at EKU and told me about a few of the legislations and things that they were able to pass. And so I wanted to also inspire and help campus, and I just have a drive to help people. So I thought, hey, if I can do it on campus, that's even better.
Yeah, of course. So what about you?
So for me, I just love helping people. That's always been something that my parents have set great examples for, and everyone there in our little hometown, they're always about helping people. And I love that, and that's a huge part of who I am. It's why I want to be a clinical psychologist, just to help other people. That's what makes me happiest. And being a part of student government for the past 2 years, I feel like I've been able to help campus become safer, to help students have their voice heard, and that's just something that I'm super passionate about, helping other people, and I love that SGA allows me to do so.
And how will helping people look like if you guys are nominated as the president and vice president?
Well, most of our platform is centered on helping students here at EKU. Two things that I'm especially concerned about is accessibility for students, making campus more accessible to all different sorts of different abled bodies. I also want to help with making campus safer. That's kind of been my big initiative for this year. I've worked with Dr. Mackin, the head of public safety, quite a bit this year. I'm actually working on a safety fair right now, and just some of those things that I've learned this year, promoting campus resources and things of that nature, just to make campus a safer and more comfortable space for students, is something that I'm definitely wanting to help students with.
Then what about you? What are your thoughts in this?
Yeah, definitely accessibility and safety, but also we've kind of got together and thought transparency between students and faculty. Honestly, once you get a closer bond between the two, it'll just kind of help everything, because that transparency will also help with accessibility. It'll also help with safety. It'll help with school spirit and diversity. So that's a really big link that we'd like to work with faculty and administrators and professors and just try to like close that gap that's kind of missing. And because a lot of the questions that students have, could be answered if we had a little bit of more closeness with faculty and a little bit more transparency. So really working on that. And then just diversity in general, because there's so many different areas on campus that need help or need to be heard. So just working with them and working for them would help a lot.
And you mentioned closing the gap between like faculty and students and that communication there. What's your idea of how that could look like for EKU?
I think a step in the right direction is the dinner with the presidents. That's an initiative that Dr. McFadden has got started this semester. I think that continuing that and maybe expanding it would be a great step. I know that we both attended. Having President McFadden there to be the primary source of your information was great. He answered any question. If he didn't know the answer, he said that he would look into it. So I think that that's a great step in the right direction of closing that gap between students and upper level administrators.
So what would you say for people, you were talking about how anybody can get involved, right, with student government and really the inner workings of the university. What would you say to people that may be shy or, don't know how to get involved? What would you tell them?
One thing that I would tell them is that the student government, it's not just being super outgoing and being super into it. We have 3 separate branches. Within that, there's ways to be in the spotlight and to be super outgoing, but there's also, working with the campus activities board, just helping plan events. That's still helping campus grow and be more interactive, but you don't have to be super outgoing to get involved, and it's a great way to have fun and help people.
Yeah, you can play at your own pace. I mean, if you really like it and really want to try to go for it all, you can do that. But also, if you just kind of want to be in the background and helping or behind the scenes, or honestly, like there's so many different areas. Like Holly said, I didn't really know much about student government at all when I got here, and my brother was kind of like, "Hey, you should try it out," and I was like, "I don't know," and then because I wasn't sure how to get involved. And then I kind of just walked into the office one day and saw the current president at the time and just kind of asked a question. I think you were playing rock, paper, scissors. And I think I got a free t-shirt. And then I was like, what is this, by the way? And so became a senator and just kind of came to the Senate meetings. And then from there I was like, oh, this is really fun. I really like this. And kind of went from there. And RSO chair, I was RSO deputy and then RSO chair. And so I just really love it a lot. And something that I hope the students are able to something I really want to press to the students is the office is open to everyone. You can come in there and hang out. You don't have to be a part of student government. You can be a part of student government. Obviously, I hang out in there all the time. I do homework or I play around, and but it's open to everyone. And so I think if we were to get elected, I would definitely want to try to make it a more welcome, homey space that students can just come in and hang out, because that will also help them get more involved, not only in student government, but in other organizations as well, as they meet people just in the office in Powell.
So what would you guys say is the most important thing about being a part of SGA or getting involved in student government? Why is the student government there? Tell people that may not know what you guys do. What is it that you guys do?
I guess the simple thing is we do a lot more than I would have ever thought that we do. Like I said, there are 3 different branches, and with that, each branch does something a little different. We're both a part of Student Senate right now. For that part, I would say that our main goal is to advocate for students, to listen to their problems, and then we take those problems and write legislation, which is ultimately a recommendation to upper-level administrators to make change on campus. Sometimes they take that advice, and sometimes they don't. If they don't, then we continue pushing occasionally, depending on what the problem is and how important that is to our students. There's the Office of the President, and with that we have different cabinets, like the Diversity Cabinet, the Sustainability Cabinet, and those cabinets are there to help students, grow diversity on campus, help the campus to be more sustainable. those groups have been doing phenomenal this year with Diversity Week and different sustainability projects. And there's a student court, which is there to advocate for students also. And we also, the Council for Campus Activities, like I said, they help do a lot of events like the Corn Roast, Palpalooza, just a ton of just the different fun events that they partnership with Student Life to do. So SGA does a lot. Pretty much any major event, we have some sort of presence there.
Wonderful. So with the student government, how are you guys going to really change things around? I guess I'm going to say, what is the different thing you're going to do? What's unique about you guys?
I think this past administration has done phenomenal. I really do. I think they've done a really good job. Jayna Smith has done fantastic as student body president, and EVP Wynn has done phenomenal as well. One thing that I think that could be improved upon if elected is definitely communication within the organization and participation within the organization. Definitely there's been a few, I think personally I have seen a few broken links within the chain, and so I think just, if we had a little bit better communication between all the branches of student government, and then also I think it's really important to be involved, and so there's been a few activities or events on campus that I really think the SGA could have shown up and shown out a little bit more from. And so I would just encourage members like, hey, come on out to this event, or let's all get together and hang out a little more, grow as a organization. We've started doing this thing called Senate socials. So a bunch of us will hang out after Senate on Tuesday nights at 7, or we'll get together at ball games and sit together and just kind of become closer friends, because, as you grow in the friendship, then you can also have clear communication and grow as the organization. So I just think more transparency and communication within SGA.
And you talked about communication. How can students really connect with student government? Say, if they hear this podcast and like, oh, well, maybe I can tell them this because this really bothers me, or maybe I want to see change in this area at EKU. How do they get in contact?
Well, I would say that the greatest and easiest way to get into contact with student government is to just drop by the office. It's PAL 219. There's usually someone in there at all times. We ourselves, we're in there all the time. If we're not in class, we're probably in the office. We also have a website, and then there's also just EKU's SGA Instagram page. A lot of people message that and voice concerns, and our PR cabinet is phenomenal. They check that on the daily, so if there's a concern and they want to send a DM or something, comment on a post, it'll get to us one way or another.
Now, you said you're focused in psychology for your studies, is that right?
Yeah.
And you're focused in criminal justice?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit, I'll start with you. What inspired you to choose that?
So like I said, it's my passion to help others. Just from my own experiences, different struggles in college, I was finding ways to be happy, and I realized that I was happiest when I was helping other people. And like I said, I want to open a clinic in Eastern Kentucky, and that's where, there's a lack of mental health resources. So that's just something that I'm very passionate about, helping others, bringing mental health awareness, and, helping others to, find the help that they may need.
And what about you with criminal justice?
Yeah, well, I actually started college undecided. I was looking at occupational therapy or criminal justice, and I kind of went with criminal justice after I took an intro 101 class. I was just like, oh, that is it for me. I'm kind of like Holly. I have a really strong passion to help others, and so with my career, not only help others but protect others, because I just, I'd like to be there to protect everybody. Obviously, that's not possible, but I like the adventure aspect, and I like the aspect that I could work with others to stop all these major issues going on, and possibly help issues within our own justice and correctional systems that I've seen or that other people have seen. And yeah, just in general, I really have a strive to help people. So
Well, that's great. It sounds like you really have a common cause here, just wanting to help and progress the campus and helping others. You are focused on mental health awareness as a psychology major. Do you think that will influence your campaign and what you will do if you're elected?
I definitely think so. I think that it's pretty often that our mental health resources on campus are a little overlooked. I think advocating for those, sponsoring them, promoting them in any way that we can would be great. This administration, our current administration, has set up mental health days, and I think that is a great initiative that they're doing. They have lots of different just mental health awareness activities planned. That's something that I would definitely want to continue, but maybe make that not just here and there events, maybe like a full year, like pretty frequent, having those promotional events or different just activities for students to come to boost their mental health.
And so you mentioned safety and making people feel safe. What do you think about safety on campus, and how is that going to influence your campaign?
I would definitely love to. One of our platforms is safety, like we mentioned. And we do, I think it's once a semester, we do safety walks. And so this past safety walk, we saw tons of lights or bushes that need to be cut down or trees that need to be cut down, areas in the parking lots that needed more lighting. We checked all the blue buttons to make sure that they worked and went to the operators correctly. And so I definitely think that's important because, every time you do it, you see something else or you see something new. And so safety in general, but also there's been a lot of areas for safety with accessibility on campus. So I think that I would personally love to see if we could get the student body to do kind of like a safety walk because everybody kind of has their own perspective. So maybe somebody sees an area that needs to be changed for more wheelchair accessibility, or sees more an area that lighting for this area would be much better. So I definitely think safety walks are very, very beneficial. So I'd love to see that wider spread. But also just promoting the SAFE app, because that's something that I don't feel gets promoted enough at all. I personally didn't really even know we had it.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't know what that is, and maybe people out there don't know what it is. Can you tell us what the SAFE app is?
So the SAFE app is an EKU app run by EKU Safety, and you can get on there and you can I think there's areas where you can
report tips.
Yes.
You can do a walk with a friend, like if you're walking from your car. You can get into direct contact with the EKU PD. They send you any sort of notifications, like if there's a public safety alert, if there's a thunderstorm, if there's an ice storm, it gives you all those notifications. It's just a great, great resource.
Yeah, it's like I think a majority of the student body gets the text. It's like, thunderstorm warning. So
yeah.
a lot of that comes through the SAFE app. So you're able to, like she said, report and get in contact, but you can also, you can report crimes or areas on campus that you think, if the sidewalk's broken, you could report that if you wanted. So it's a really great app. Just not a lot of people know about it at all. And I think just being on campus, that's a really great resource for students. So promoting the SAFE app more, and then working with administrators to see where they see any aspects of safety. I know that I'm going to talk next week with one of my professors and ask her, like, hey, what do you see around campus? As a female criminal justice professor, like, I know you're on campus late sometimes. Do you see anything? So I think just going ahead, and whether you are in a position of, in student government or whether you're just a student, I think, trying to reach out and find those areas that can be fixed is great. So
yeah. So are people able to get a hold of you on, say, social media to kind of follow your campaign, learn more about you guys? Tell our viewers where they can connect with you guys.
Yeah, so I have an Instagram. So it's Jayna_Elizabeth. My name's Jayna Singleton. And then we have a campaign Instagram that is Singleton_Miller22. So on our campaign, we will post about our platform, endorsements that students or professors have sent in, just saying that they kind of support us in our campaign. We have areas where you can voice your concerns or send us any DMs or questions that you guys have. So
that's great. Is there any other resources or anything you would like to share?
I might mention that my Instagram is hollymiller888, and then we also have a Linktree website that's linked in our campaign bio. You might want to check that out. It has a couple different resources on there and more information about our campaign overall.
Well, thank you again for joining me today. It's been lovely to talk and kind of get to know you guys and kind of share your story with the campus community. And thank you guys for joining us for The Way It's Told, this special edition of Meet the Candidates. I'm Christen Gibson, your host. Make sure you check us out at theeasternprogress.com and Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Thanks again for watching.